accordion of abundance filled with collectively collage tags. Maker's creative collab stuff. This is the third one.
Hello, this is P.
And I'm M.
Patricia.
Mariah.
PM Artist Studio.
Now, let's get started.
All right, wow, we're going to go very, very, very fast through most of this. There are going to be, but wait, I slowed it down a little bit.
I see that.
Did I scare you a little bit?
You did scare me.
Like, whoa.
I don't know if I can talk that fast.
Okay, so I will have this kit. It's a different one. So I'm going to have this available as one of the stuffed pocket little kits over in our shop. Only on our website, not on Etsy. Only on our website, links below. Also, you will be able to find all the links to all the other makers along with playlists and all that business that goes along with our makers, creative collabs, stuff.
Yes, and the hopping.
And the hopping business.
I like the hopping.
So, yes, if you want all of that, it's either below or you're already in the playlist. So, you'll be moving on to the next one. Make sure you pause at the end if you want to make a comment.
Yes.
We know that. So
Yes.
there you go. As you can see here, if you want to kind of rewind back, this is a basic folding technique for these stuffed pockets. There are kind of two ways to go about it. You saw that I was folding it one way and back the other. Well, part of the reason I did that is so you can either have it all the same or add a little flair, flip the pocket back, and then you get a different pattern.
Well, that's just clever as can be.
Well,
I
you
didn't
know,
really know
everyone's
how you did that.
Yeah, so that's one of the reasons I created it the way that I did. So that way it could be on one sheet. You get the pieces to be able to flip it back, or it's kind of cool. You can do it on the inside of the pocket. So that's like, everything's the same on the outside, but then it's kind of sneaky cool on the inside there.
It's like a reversible dress.
Right. And then the version that I will have available in our shop will not have the PM Artist Studio on it. I don't think everybody needs that. That's just for us. Because, we like to put the PM on it.
I think the other thing about it strengthens that pocket also. It makes it a little more substantial.
Yes, for the little flappy part, it certainly does. Because once you start stuffing stuff in there,
Yeah.
You want it to be a little sturdier stuff.
Absolutely. Do you recommend sealing this after?
You can. Now, one of the nice things is, very nice lead in there, P. I love you.
Oh.
Is that these particular papers were printed on the laser printer.
Oh, I remember that you mentioned that you liked that. See, that's my printer.
It is her printer, and I'm very much enjoying it here lately, so I probably will be the next one to purchase toner. This kit's going to be very nice for those of you that want to gel print and also have laser printers, because these are the same papers we used in that last live stream to create that graphic transfer.
And it works beautifully.
Yes.
It really does. If you
one pass, one print.
One pass, one print.
On the best setting, if you have a laser printer.
Yeah.
Laser's the key.
I think it also has a much nicer finish, because I noticed when I was touching it that it seems smoother.
Because it's kind of plasticky. The toner in a laser printer.
Oh, yeah. So that's part of the...
Yeah.
And that's
the
why,
reason it works the way it does. All right, now we're kind of moving on into creating the fold business. This is where the accordion is going to become the accordion. And I thought, well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do it on all of the connection points. Now you probably could, because you could cut that and hide the seam binding.
Sure.
And create then the fold margin. I know that there's a name for that. Why don't I know that?
I don't know that.
That's about
I just
on my
think
part.
that this is going to work. This works brilliantly. I don't know why you would want to.
Yeah, but the next connection...
Oh, I see. If you wanted to do it on both sides.
And
well,
have
then
it
you're going to lose your ability for your pocket to work efficiently.
Not
Your
necessarily.
pocket will be open.
No, because you glue it up. You'd seal it up.
Okay.
But that's one option. And I certainly considered it, but I was like, well, I really like having that clean folded edge. And then I was going, and it adds to the appeal there. One of the other really cool things I need to mention about our stuff is a lot of our stuff came from you guys. Those of you that are our arty friends who have mailed us things, such as this black seam binding, which I absolutely just went on and on about, is from our friend Mo. And then our friend Judy ended up sending us some more, which is fantastic. You'll see a little bit of that being used later.
Yeah.
And we'll get into the tags here in a bit, and we'll kind of point out who sent us what and
as they appear up there. Hopefully, as they appear. I don't know how fast Mariah's going to make this go.
This part is kind of the slowest part of the video. The rest of it is going to speed up pretty quickly with the collage work and things, because I think, you tear a little piece of paper and then you put it down. So you only want to close up that one side. I mean, you could make it a full pocket, but in order to kind of keep that cool rounded business and then utilize it in the way that I have, I only glued down the straight edge of the little outside pocket.
Got a little bit of a...
And then the inside is also a pocket, so you can create that stuff at the top. But see, now, this is where most of the seam binding is hidden. But coming up here, I'm going to show you how I connect then the next two. So I did 2 like this, 2 sets of 2, and then connected all 4.
I would have made it 5, so you had some kind of
I know.
thing.
You like the 5.
I like 5.
Yeah,
Mariah fights me on that.
Yeah. Technically it does have 5, because we added a little thing to the front.
Oh, yeah.
We'll get to that.
Well, mine would have just been full on.
Yeah, full on 5.
Full on 5.
3s, 5s.
3s, 5s, 7s, and 9s. And I know that there's an even number in the...
I want you to do this paper on the gel plate.
I think it would be wonderful.
This is...
Did you print some off?
I think I still have some more, but, we have a printer.
We do.
Okay, quickly, I want to show or talk about that this is another option. Like, if you don't want to buy our set of paper, great, whatever, and you do have some pattern paper, here's how you do it. Now, your pocket isn't going to have a different pattern, unless, of course, you kind of want to glue one down or whatever, but this is how to do it very quickly with one pattern paper. So, did you see how I did that? Folded that one bit up, and then I just cut in that same arc. So that you have a
symmetrical.
Plus, it's doubled up, so you're going to have pattern on both inside and out. It's just going to be all exactly the same.
Well, you could always just, glue something on top of it if you decided. It's something that you didn't have to decide right now. You could make it
and
choice
so here it is
and change
again.
it.
How to do it. You just fold it exactly the same way. And this was all just kind of willy-nilly.
We need to do that pattern on the gel plate also,
I
because
think so.
that would be an interesting if you did some ombre.
And then I was thinking I was going to split them up. Did I end up doing that? No.
Yeah,
I put the 2
in the middle.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like,
middle.
all right, I'm just going to keep them together. Do the 2 and 2, and then that way my binding, I can do it the same way. And then I have the one strip that connects the 2 together on that center point.
There you go.
There you go.
Boom, bada boom.
Boom, bada bing.
Ah. Oh, see, she's playing around with it there.
I was trying to think about it. Yeah. That was what I finally was like, let's keep this. Not overcomplicate things. And then I kept gluing down to the paper. I was like, gotta bring the cutting board back in. And look, it is lightening up. The yellow is less.
I'm changing the paper on my work area today. Y'all be relieved to hear that. It's getting so...
Well, they won't know that. This is going to come... This will be debuted after...
Oh, after.
But you can come back to that live stream and check it out. See if P really did clean up her paper.
Yeah, do the rerun.
Do the rerun. So you see that there's the 2 outer... I don't think it detracts from the overall look of it by any means. little play there. I always like to, it's good once you have kind of at a certain point
Oh, yeah.
to mess with
definitely.
something, just to see if in fact your ideas were, I think if I were to do this again, I would wait until the end. I fought with it a bit more than I would have liked to.
Yes.
But it did create some moments where I had to do a bit of problem solving, which I always like. And in that set of papers is going to include the little quarter sheets.
Ah.
Which are
That's
nice
how
to have.
that would be good to cover those pockets.
Yeah, now you saw all of that stuff that I brought out. Those are our scraps. This is what we consider scraps. I mean, they're offcuts. They're bits that either are kind of in transition of maybe being something, maybe not. Do they need stuff to them? These are some of our squares. They're in various states. Some more done than others. Some needed a little less.
Now, if you're really thinking about this, yes, you would have done your collage work while it was off of the...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, sure would have been a lot easier to trim around those edges.
Yeah,
That would have
but I got her
drove
done.
me crazy.
Yeah. But again, it created a moment where I had to work with where I had placed it. And that in turn worked out probably better than what it would have if I would have done it all
This is true.
off.
This is true.
And then I realized, okay, if I've got this collage work happening, then I need to break up all of this black and white and create a bit more interest on these upper pocket areas. To even, and to show that, hey, there's something else here. Because otherwise you don't really know.
No, you don't.
So that's why I did the torn bit on that.
Well,
one.
unless you watch this video.
Unless you watch this video. Somebody's telling you about it.
Now, those are all those little cards. I just have them handy, and whenever I've got leftover stuff on the gel plate, I just slap them down and...
Yeah, so they really technically are scraps. There are scraps. Some people might look at them and be like, well, that looks like some fancy artwork stuff. It really isn't. In our world, those are scraps.
I have them there. I brayer off on them. I do my wipe off of the stencils.
I was going to say, it's a lot of leftover stencil business.
Because I just hate wasting it. I just,
Yeah.
you know,
And sometimes it's interesting because you're like, oh, I wish I had more of this one.
yeah, it's kind of a one-off.
And then I had Pete add a little bit of paint to some of them because they were a little dulled out. And
Oh, yeah, those were the ones you grabbed before they were technically finished.
yeah,
We hurried those.
we hurried those. But that's all right.
Now, some of them just needed a little bit of brightening up.
Yes.
Yeah.
That was a crazy one. I knew that that's when you were testing out a lot of those mixes that you were doing. Because they had all kinds of things on.
I did, because you just never know until you get it down on paper what it's going to look like. Because if it's in the jar,
Yeah.
it's one thing. But a lot of times it will change so much as it dries.
And just to test out and see how it interacts with other things. Because she mixes crazy things together. And, you know, you get a tar gel situation where, you know, weeks later that thing is still not dry and sticking to everything.
Yes, the cautionary tales of tar gel.
We need to do a video. Do it like in a spooky voice. Warning. Tar gel has been used in this.
Anticipate a very long dry time.
I did use a bit of both glue stick and art glitter glue.
Well, I hope you don't regret that
Oh,
decision.
I knew you were going to say that. I don't think I'm going to, because that's the, I believe that is the rice paper.
Well, the rice paper it sucks it up.
It really does.
That's good stuff. I'm going to start printing on that more.
And one of the reasons I like using the glue stick with it is that it helps keep it kind of fluffy and lovely versus when you use the art glitter glue, it soaks through, like you said, and then hardens it up and really darkens it.
I just make designs with the glue.
I know you do. Okay, so leftover pieces from our scrolls. And our lovely friend, arty friend Anne, sent us these tea bags. And then this was when we were trying to decide on some of the patterns for the different ones. She did some extras, so again, scraps. And then I used the color sprays to color it to match up to sort of what I was doing. Because I had this
Oh, that's where those little pink leftover.
Yeah, and did you see, I tore the big long piece that I had, and that was a scrap piece. Offcut from the, from when we do impression plates.
Oh.
So it was some of the black, cardstock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tore it in half because I was like, I just don't want one big one that's overpowering the rest. Did a bit more collage work, brought in, repeated.
Repeat. Unity.
And then I decided I needed to repeat that whole torn pocket business. That was important. Putting a magnet there, I needed it to dry, so that's why I went ahead and did it. I knew that at some point I was going to get it around to the back side. And I didn't like the white paper showing. And I thought that was pretty cool too. To bring the flowers in.
Absolutely.
Darken the torn edges with the Posca marker.
Always gives it a bit of drama.
Yes. And outline to those
Emphasis.
pockets too. Letting people know, hey, there's a pocket here.
Bingo, pocket.
And it kind of added to the whimsy of it as well, more cartoony.
Yes.
Having it outlined like that. P sacrifice or offered.
I offered up for sacrifice.
The
My
thing.
thing. Well, it was.
This is one of the kind of well, not original, but probably like 2 or 3.0 of the thing. It has changed. I do make alterations to them going forward. Available in our shop, both on Etsy and our website, is the thing. If you would like.
Oh, and
own.
we used the glue that you sent, Cheran.
Yeah, that's the glue that Cheran sent us.
And that's awesome stuff because our glitter glue didn't want to glue down.
It didn't, which was very weird.
Well, it's that has enough paint on that stencil there.
But I did that with
It's very textury.
It is very textury. I'm using up my little paint swatches that I grab at the hardware store when we go. That looked awesome. I was very pleased with that. Yeah.
And then you covered it
One
up.
of the old tags we made. So that's what ultimately the stuffed bit is for. Although that was P's little thing she made during one of the Happy Paper People's lives with the things she found on the floor.
What do you call those? It was a cluster. Was my very first cluster.
But we grabbed up all these tags and things that we just have been, like, didn't have a home.
That are hither and yon.
And so now they have a home.
And see, there's some of the stuff that you sent, Judy.
Yeah. Some of that seam binding, I really liked it. It was a bit much there. Especially when I was going to put down the one quote there.
Ah, yes, on the back.
Yes.
You needed that to be not.
Now I'm putting down the magnet. If you want to see more about that, I have about 50 million projects that I've used magnets, but basically you get the one in place, put the other on top. You saw I put a little bit of double-sided tape and then hold it in place, then glue it down.
Now, I think this is really brilliant. You need to watch this part where she's going to attach that string there.
I stuffed it inside.
In between, she sandwiched it. It's like bologna.
Yeah.
And
That's one from Judy P. That's some of her marbling that she sent us. That one's from Cheran. She sent us a couple of little tags, and then you saw that
And
other
I
one.
wrote on the back of all of them so we know who they are.
And those 2 of them are from Kari. Actually, 3 or 4 of them, I think, are the ones that Kari Gibson Art sent us.
I'm looking at 3 here. There might be another one. I don't see it. But...
Oh, the big
and
chunky
here,
ones from
this
Thelisha.
Oh, yes. Her
Thelisha's-
handmade paper.
Yes. We're baking meets crafting by Thelisha. And they are all in the swap with us as well, along with a few others. If you want to make sure and check out everyone, the links will be down below. Or again, you are in the playlist, so you should be moving on to the next one. If you want to see all of these little lovelies and what is being written on those, be sure to check us out on Instagram and whatnot. I will post some pictures over there of those.
I think you need to take a
And there we
picture
go.
of every single one of the tags just for documentary purposes.
All right, I will do that and start posting them out maybe this week after this posts. Thank you guys again for watching. Be sure to like the video if you have indeed liked it and leave us a comment. We love those. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and
Don't forget to ring that bell. Bye.